Delegation. The first of these topics we will discuss is delegation. When answering a question that requires the nurse to delegate, you need to consider what we will call the 5 rights of delegation. Right person. When considering if you are delegating to the right person, think of the roles and responsibilities of each member of the healthcare team. Right task. When considering if you are delegating the proper task, think of the roles and responsibilities of each member of the healthcare team, as well as the priority of the task being delegated. Right supervision. When considering if you are delegating the proper task, think of the roles and responsibilities of each member of the healthcare team, as well as the amount of supervision the nurse will have to provide to get the job done properly. Right circumstance. When considering if you are delegating the proper task, think of the roles and responsibilities of each member of the healthcare team, as well as the priority of the task being delegated. Right instructions. When considering if you are delegating the proper task, think of the roles and responsibilities of each member of the healthcare team, as well as the amount of instruction the nurse will have to provide to get the job done properly. Okay, here's another sample question. In this drill, I would like you to practice eliminating distractors using the delegation principles. Let's start by separating the case scenario from the stem of the question. The case scenario tells us that the nurse on a busy post-surgical unit has a nursing assistant and a licensed professional nurse assigned to the team. The stem of the question asks, when the following events occur simultaneously to clients assigned to the team, which situation must the nurse handle immediately? Let's identify the critical elements. The key words are simultaneously and immediately. The client is the client who requires the nurse's immediate attention. The issue is which situation must the nurse handle without delegating. The type of stem is a true response stem. Now we can start to look at and eliminate distractors. Option 1. 3-day post-operative client rings the nurse's station and states that his pain pills are due. The client does not appear to be reporting acute distress, rather that his pain meds are due. Since we know that this practical nurse is able to medicate client according to the existing doctor's orders, the nurse could delegate the practical nurse to handle this situation. Option 2. Post-operative client has just arrived from the post-anesthesia care unit, accompanied by a nurse and a nursing assistant. The client does not appear to be in acute distress and in fact is already being attended to by another nurse and a nursing assistant. Another client has a more serious issue. Let's look at option 3. First day post-operative client sitting out of bed for the first time states she feels nauseated and wishes to return to bed. This client is reporting acute distress, however, assistance with mobility is well within the scope of practice for the nursing assistant. The nurse could delegate the nursing assistant to handle this client situation. Option 4. Client receiving a transfusion is reported by the nursing assistant to have a temperature of 39 degrees Celsius. This client is in acute distress and showing signs of a potentially life-threatening transfusion reaction and requires immediate assessment. Remember that only the nurse is capable of assessment. Therefore, this situation cannot be delegated to another team member. We have 4 clients who all need attention. Since the stem of the question asks what situation the nurse must handle immediately, and since only one situation requires a skill that only the nurse is able to do, assessment, we go with what we know and choose choice 4. Let's go ahead and separate the case scenario from the stem of this question. The case scenario tells us that at the start of the day shift, The nurse on a psychiatric floor delegates several tasks to the nursing assistant. The stem of the question asks, which task does the nurse direct the nursing assistant to complete first? Let's identify those critical elements beginning with the key words. The key words are start of the day shift and first. The client is the nursing assistant. The issue is which task to delegate first. This type of stem is a priority response stem. Let's start to look at and eliminate distractors. Option 1. Weigh an anorexic client. As we know, an anorexic client must be weighed at the same time daily wearing the same clothes before the first meal of the day to make certain that the weight obtained is most accurate. The weight should be done upon arising early in the morning. Option 2. Prepare the day room for group breakfast. As we know, in the therapeutic milieu, the clients eat meals together as part of the socialization experience. Preparing the room is appropriate, but is there a specific task that must be done early in the morning before a particular client can eat? Option 3. Assist a severely depressed client to get out of bed and dressed. As we know, a seriously depressed client may require a great deal of assistance with ADLs in order to get to the day room for breakfast. Assisting the client is appropriate, but this task is likely to take a fairly long time. Is there a specific, quicker task that must be done early in the morning before another particular client can eat? Let's look at option 4. Accompany a group of clients to the off-unit smokers area. As we know, addiction to nicotine represents a physiological need for clients who are smokers. Albeit a poor health choice, it is still a legal addiction. Smokers will take smoke breaks together as part of the socialization experience of the therapeutic milieu and often require a morning cigarette before breakfast, escorting these clients appropriate. But this task is likely to take several minutes. Is there a specific, quicker task that must be done early in the morning before a particular client can eat? Because we have 4 potential answers that look at physiological needs, we need to make a choice that has the nurse delegating the right task and the right circumstance. Since the case scenario indicates that this is the first thing in the morning, and we know that the anorexic client's weight must be obtained on arising to be accurate, we go with what we know and choose choice 1. Weigh an anorexic client as the correct answer. Are you ready to try one on your own? Welcome to Clients at Risk.